All right, so y'all, oh Lord, y'all probably seen the video that I did concerning the Che Calhoun being found innocent, and I mentioned in the video something about voting for Trump. And seriously, you think I really want Trump as a president? No. Of course, he's a racist, but minority love to be racist. So what they learn racism from white people and initiate the same racism is done to them towards each other. You go on the balloons on stuff on this Flores situation. You have Hispanic people acting like they think they're white and not white. That's why they put a fence around Mexico. Acting like they're towards people African American descent. You have African American descent think they're pure white, and they're not. They're mixed with white. Yeah, we are mixed with white. I'm mixed with Irish and French and English, not pure African. I'm partially African and Native American. So, being racist towards Latinos. Latinos also don't want to admit it. They have African DNA besides Spaniard and Native American. There was African slaves, a bunch of them. They went to Mexico and mixed. That's why you have big lips, wide nose. Check your DNA. Check if you may not look like a black person, but you might have features like one, butt like one, hair curl pattern, not kinky hair, but curl pattern hair. Maybe the darker skin tone did not come always from the Native American. Check it out on your family members if y'all all don't look alike. Okay, point is they want to act like that they don't exist. I'm glad Rosa Perez pointed that out. So voting for Trump will be a good decision. I'm sorry, besides white people, not all white people did me wrong. I had good white people that did, treat me with respect. Besides having, and like I said, I mentioned earlier, I have white ancestors, not always slave masters. I'm sure if you will follow me on YouTube, I talked about my fourth great grandmother being a white woman who had a mixed child. My third great grandfather who looked white, who was mixed with black. I think the dad's side, because they say he was Creole, there's no French on that side, on his mother's side. It has to be on the father's side. Trying to find more about his roots, because that's a part of who I am. I'm not, there's one drop of black blood makes you a whole, which is outdated law since 1967 when they made interracial marriages legalized by the Love versus Virginia case by Supreme Court decision considered to be unconstitutional. And to this day, people still hold on to their rule to determine someone else's life. Here we go. I say determine someone else's life. Instead of the person determine how they want to live life. That's American. Let the person determine their life. Not a racist society determine someone else's life so they can oppress them. That was exactly. So you have people of African American descent who are not pure African American descent, whether it be dark skin, light skin. You have Latinos who are a mixture of African, Spaniard, and American, come in all shapes, sizes, and colors from Mexico, the Caribbean, to Central South America. You have these two groups in this country who are scared of a white man oppressing them, but the same tactics that the white people who are racist like Trump do to them, they do it to each other. So why minorities are not why minorities are not held accountable for their own racism? That's the reason why I'm voting for Trump. You love racism, you want to be racist, let a white man do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't cry about racism that's done towards you by white racist people, but yet you practice what they're preaching. And that's the reason why I want to apologize partially, not all the way, to Stacey Dash. She's part black and part Mexican. I love black skin women. I love all women, but I do love black skin women, okay? She said it correct, that maybe, we're snaking through the job. And the reason why I say this, because if Trump becomes president and make America white all over again, that means Latinos and African American people will not be part of the situation. And yes, I'm saying this as a person of color, of course. But that's what y'all want. Y'all practice what they're preaching towards you, to each other. So, and maybe it'll make minorities humble again. Maybe we do need signs that say no Negroes, no Mexicans, but we have to be politically correct now because not every Latino is a Mexican. No Negroes, no Mexicans, because those who want to claim to be pure black because the white man say so. No Negroes, no Mexicans, no Latinos, and no dogs all over Texas. So we can remind ourselves, because anybody became a killer. The whole Flores situation, You have people in Chicago, people of African American killing each other. In New Orleans, even in Houston, you have people in the barrios, Latinos killing each other from the East Coast to the West Coast. You have folks afraid to go to Mexico because, and of course, I mentioned the African DNA is there. It's mixed and blended with Spanish and American, but not everybody looks like Che Calhoun in Mexico. Okay, so you have people who look more exotic, shall I say, in Mexico, and then 9/10 will kill them compared to someone that looks like Che Calhoun. So my question is, killers come in all colors. Ever since the two parents of the human race, Adam and Eve, ate that forbidden fruit. Ain't nobody perfect but God. And that's the reason why I'm making this video. And maybe Trump will be considered a candidate for this presidency, so it can remind us to be humble again and stop thinking that we're better. Because at the end of the day, minorities are not better than anybody. Minorities go through the same doggone thing that the other minority group. You have drugs, crime, you have poverty in both communities. You have people, and one thing I never understood why African American people and Latinos fight over little shitty jobs. Because I told you in my video couple years back, I don't want shit ass jobs. I want high wages. I want to live good. I don't want to work at the McDonald's. I want to work as a CEO. I want to work as a corporate ladder. I don't want to live at the bottom. I don't embrace living at the bottom right now. I live at the bottom. I'm a middle class, and it's like a headache. I'm glad something's better going on, but living at the bottom irks me. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I would not complain about a shitty ass McDonald's job that anybody can have. That Martin King and Sage House fault for both groups not to live under. Okay, so I don't understand that situation. But maybe my Blaxican sister Stacey Dash was correct on Fox News, and I posted on Twitter that Trump is a good candidate. Hey. Maybe we should have signs to say no Negroes, no Latinos, and no dogs. And maybe it will open our eyes and say none of us is better than anybody. We're all in one pot. We're all people of color. Instead of coming together, we're fighting each other. And that's stupid over what happened with Jesus Flores. Because anybody could have killed this child. Because they don't say anybody. They said it was a black dude, Cocoa black dude, and we're not pure black. Calhoun and I are two different complexions. I'm lighter than him. He's darker than me. We don't all come just like Latinos. They come in different shades too. You cannot sit there and say one particular race is worse than the other when all people have criminals and murderers and rapists in there. And we know that the white people came to this country. Our white ancestors would have been Spanish, French, English, whatever, came into and mistreated both our native and African ancestors. I'm speaking for both communities because we share similar roots. So therefore, we cannot sit here and think that one's better than the other when that same sin that the white man did to our people of colors, both the Native Americans and Africans. We practice that mess in our own community, not me personally, but you know what I'm talking about. We have, if you go to the ghetto, we got to worry about a brother or sister doing something to me. If I was Latino, I have to worry about Latino doing something to me. Because many of them, even though we live a mixed community of both African American and his Latinos together, you still have segregated communities. People socially segregate. When you socially segregate, most of the people in your socially segregated society are most likely going to do wrong to you compared to someone outside. Hello, stop being stupid and be intelligent, folks. So, since you want to pretend to be Trump supporters, maybe Trump supporters who are white can kick all of our asses and make us remind us that we're no better than anybody, and that's why I'm voting for him. All this, and I'm a liberal, I'm not conservative. Let me say the reason why. Because I'm tired that white racism is always a focused racism in this argument. But minorities have a past. Oh, we were oppressed and we don't have power, which is true. There ain't nobody that is American Negro descent or Hispanic origin that run this country. Even Obama have trouble running this country. He's mulatto, okay? So majority of white folks run. It's like I don't understand why in Southern California you have both groups fight each other in gangs and being part of the prison population and being slaves to the prison population, because they're definitely looking for men of color to be put in the prison population. That's why they're trying to build more prisons and trying to get Hillary Clinton to be put in the presidency. Anyway, I'm laughing at this. When the Ku Klux Klan come over there, y'all get together fight. But y'all don't want to fight. You can come together when there's no Ku Klux Klan. Y'all want to fight amongst each other, which is stupid. Anyway, point is, California, white folks run there. Texas, white folks run here. New York, white folks. I'm telling you. So y'all kiss up the white man's ass when y'all try to call each other the N word or the W word, which is stupid. SPIC words and monkeys and all the other stuff. You just as guilty as the white man when you partake in that type of mentality and also the behavior. You can't point the white man all the time to my white people since I got white DNA. It's not your fault. It's not always fault. It's minorities who participate in this mess. I have to worry about a brother or Latino doing something wrong to me than a white person, because I don't live near pure lily white folks, or those who can pass as pure lily white folks. And it's sad that I have to worry about a person of color, whether it be they classify themselves as Hispanic or African American, doing something to me compared to a white person. You have to worry about a white racist cop. Yes, I understand that, but a white racist cop is not around me 24/7. It's people of color who around me 24/7. It's sad that if I see some thugs happen to be Latino African American, baggy pants, sagging, looking like Charles and thugs, compared to a white person who dresses in a suit. And don't get me wrong, there's white folks who dress like that as well. I'm not negating that, but it's sad that I have to worry about that. Call me Uncle Tom, call me whatever, but that's reality. In the situation that happened to this little boy, that's all I have to worry about. I speak Spanish. I'm not Latino at all, but I get criticized from the African Americans in the community for culturally, cross-culturally, when Latinos cross-culture to hip-hop a lot. But anyway, my point is, no one's saying about that situation, but that's exactly, and you have people in my African Americans in the community who don't believe in freedom, who don't honor freedom. Freedom is given to you. They think by freedom is by collectivism controlling you. That's not freedom. Collectivism is slavery. I live by that all the time. You make your own decisions, not the whole group make their own decisions. Okay? I'm an individualistic person. I'm not a collective person. You have Latinos who get mad at me speaking Spanish, whatever, but yet they listen to hip-hop music. Anyway, point is, I don't understand that situation. So, both groups are not for my freedom. My career being bilingual and singing both English and Spanish is not only by white people in the music industry. It's by minorities who don't want to see me enjoy the freedom and liberty that I would love to enjoy. I'm not trying to be someone else's shadow. I'm my own person. I'm the only terminator of my life. I don't want people making decisions for me. I'm not a child. I'm over the age of 18. Hello. So that's the reason why. So that's why I feel that Trump, since they don't believe in freedom, both groups don't believe. If a Latino wants to marry a person African American, he or she got to get permission from family. That's not freedom. When you're 18, you do what you want to do. Same thing. I'm sorry. I'm glad that Calhoun and his girlfriend about to have a black skin child. Okay, more mixed race people. Well, we are actually both groups are already mixed, but they want to classify themselves as pure something. That's why they say Hispanic is a ethnicity, not a race. But actually, it's a mixed race community, and people of African American do not have pure black DNA, which is a mixed race community as well. That's the reason why both groups. And it's one thing I don't understand: where are the minority civil rights groups? Where are the NAACP and LULAC coming together in this situation? Where Urban League and the National Council of Raza, which is, I will admit sometimes there are programs that ever since that multiracial category that was for all of us who have mixed race DNA to check for the Census Bureau in 2000 was denied due to them, not due to white Ku Klux Klan people, which I would expect them going against that, not people of the minority civil rights groups. They're not like the ones who started out in the 60s, in the Jim Crow days in the 60s and 70s and everything. This is like 1990s, got brainwashed, to some stupid theology that allowed me, stupid idea that, they're saying that it'll lose numbers, whatever, because both communities have mixed race ancestry, and I think it's an accurate term or not term to have the multiracial category, because it will unite the majority of American population, because most Americans do have mixed race ancestry but choose to deny it. Okay, I choose not to deny it. I love the fact that God put the races in my roots, and I have no shame of it. I'm glad we're going to see a camera skin brother. You know what I'm saying? That's what I am. Okay, so point is that, you know, it's sad that I can't enjoy that liberty to acknowledge all who I am. Someone got to tell me, and they use the black portion of my roots to determine like I'm a slave or something, which is the meant of the one drop rule was the origin was your one drop black will make you a slave, and that's like you had limited, you treat like a second class citizen. And it's sad that people in African American don't honor freedom. They don't believe what freedom is. And I'm not saying everybody, I'm talking about the ones I have countered. Majority don't want you to live by how they want to. No, I don't want people to tell me of any race, white, black, whatever, Hispanic, whatever, telling me how. I don't even want my mom and dad telling me what to do. Okay, I like to live the American way, as you live your freedom. And America's supposed to be a free country. Why go against the true meaning of freedom? That's why my career has not, blossomed, because both communities have interfered. Not everybody. They have not been a huge support. Well, they'll support Jennifer Lopez and Frankie J, but they won't support me. And they sing hip hop and R&B music. Point is, that's how they don't believe in a person with African DNA, especially American, because Afro Latino, they don't want to deny so much. But the African American DNA, they want to deny that. They want to make sure you don't have no freedom. That's a crab and barrel move. Because if you love your people so much, or if you love anybody, you want everybody to have freedom no matter what it is. I'm not one of those people who try to tell somebody what to do in their personal decisions. Don't physically harm me, whatever, or stop me from making money or whatever. But since y'all want to tell somebody what to do and live a life, run someone else's life, I don't live like that. Okay, I'm not looking for the idiots who does that, who want to come in my life. So don't come my direction. I'm going to do what Zach wants to do. That's what I want to live life to the day I die. You don't tell me how to live my life. So that's why, since you love limitations and put limits on people and care, I would never believe that's stupid. You want someone to live, you want someone to have freedom, that's caring. Put limitations on a person is not caring. That's being selfish on the other person's part. But anyway, because they want them to live, they want the other person to live their way, not the person live their own way and mind their business. Yes, mind your business. So that's the reason why I plan on voting for Trump, because both communities love to practice racism, white racism. They don't want to fight against it, but not only fight against it happening to them, but fight against them practicing amongst each other. They're hypocrites when it comes to racism. They want to call each other N-words and WETBICK words, and call each other to go back to the other country. Both groups share the name American DNA. As you know, you can tell I don't have no hair. That's because of my name American DNA on both of my mom and dad's side, but stronger on my dad's side because he doesn't have hairy arms, hairy chest either. That came from my great-grandfather, who was Choctaw, on my grandmother's side. And I'm very proud of my mixed heritage. I don't want to be pure anything. And I don't check, and that's on the box says 2 races or more. That's my DNA. I mean, regardless of what I look like to people, stupid. I just mentioned earlier, we come in different shades because we're mixed. I don't look like Akon, okay? So, you know what I'm saying? So, point is, I'm not going to pretend and please people and be a people pleaser. I'm not a people pleaser, y'all. I'm a self pleaser. I believe in pleasing myself before I please others. I'll help someone who's in need, which is kind of those who need my assistance. Keyword, those who need my assistance when they're asking for it. Not, involuntarily claiming that someone else needs their assistance and they ask for it. They're stupid behind to be there. And my heart goes out to the Flores family. But if Latinos and African American descendant people wanted to make a change, they must start within their own self. They cannot blame white people for racism when they practice it amongst each other. This is the reason why I would love to see it go back to being segregation days. I'm for integration, but to make America so-called white again, make America white again, because minorities think they can audition for the Klan by acting like this amongst each other, and white folks laugh. And the reason why white folks was egging on the situation in these local news, using Facebook pages, is because they want to see both groups kill each other off, so they become the majority again. That's why Planned Parenthood is in Southeast Side from the barrio in the hood, it would be the third ward in Magnolia area, because they're trying to get sisters and Latinas to kill their babies so their population can go a long way. Keep voting for Hillary Clinton, y'all. That's what's going to happen, okay? So that's the reason why y'all don't honor your freedom. You don't give your people freedom. You want to practice collectivism, which is slavery. You don't, you want to tell someone else how to live their life. If they want to marry outside of their community, that's their business. That's the American freedom. I'm sorry. I don't have no problem with a Latina and a brother going together, or a sister Latino getting together. I think that's a human thing. Human beings, we both, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We were not able to make babies together. If we were different species. But point is, I think it's beautiful when Janet Jackson was her second husband to Rene Elizondo, who's Mexican American. I think he's part Spaniard as well on his other parents' side. I didn't see nothing wrong with that. I'm a person African American, so is Janet Jackson. I think she also mixed with Native American white as well in her family tree. The Jacksons, they're not pure. Stop that pure one drop mess. Point is, you can tell. They don't look. She was not a little Yoko. No matter how surgery she had, she like that when she coming up as a child. Okay. Point is, I think that was a beautiful couple. I think I put on my Instagram her and Latino making out. Do you see me beefing about that? No, I actually had a friend who was Mexican American. I haven't seen him in a long time. Who only dates sisters, and I was trying to hook him up with some sisters. Okay, you know what I'm saying. And I also had Latino friends who tried to hook me up with some Latinas. I don't have no problem with that. I think that it's a beautiful thing to see. That's why I love Stacey Dash. I even don't like everything she says. She's a beautiful Mexican woman. Okay. Sorry, I'm serious. It hurt me when she said she gonna vote for Matt Robbie, when she run Fox News. But I kind of think it was a good idea because, and Stacey Dash out there, please support Trump so both your communities can open their eyes and stop thinking they're better than somebody. Stop this white supremacy, which none of the groups are not pure white, and will never receive white privilege. Okay, so that's for it, and that's the reason why I think that if we put Trump as presence and put that sign that says no Negroes, no Mexicans, or whatever. We can't say that now because not every Latino is a Mexican. Got Puerto Ricans, Salvadorans, everything. No Negroes because they want folks still want to hold on to the slave masters one drop rule. It never helped me because I never benefited from that theory because it's no longer law anymore. I was born after the law was out considered unconstitutional, which is 1967. I'm born 79. Point is, it never helped me out. So I don't know why this rule that was used to hurt me, people still hold on to it for unity. Unity, we still have division within. There was colorism, there was Jim Crow, and still it's to this day. Okay, y'all stop. It's still division amongst those who are middle class, and you live next door to those who are economically low income within the African American community. But at the same time, it's still segregation within, social segregation within. You have people this and that, and same thing with Latinos. Speaking of that, you have, like I mentioned earlier, you have Chicanos who don't like Mexican immigrants. Yeah, and call them W words too. When I was in El Paso, I saw this in the predominantly Hispanic high school I went to here in Harris County. But when I went to El Paso, I saw the same thing. I had a friend who's Mexican American. I think one of his parents were born in Juarez, but he was born here. El Paso. He's in Texas. He was born in El Paso, but he was born in the United States. And he said that one of the Mexican American girls, I think the girls who were born here, was called all the B words and everything. And I saw that, and I'm like, dang, did you come from, did your family came? Well, my family been here for centuries, and I hear that all the time. I'm for immigration rights. And those kind of people saying for Trump. That's not the reason I'm voting for him. Because I feel that this country, the reason why I'm beefing about this, Latinos and African Americans help each other. That's not taught in school. White supremacy in Texas schools is very vivid. That's why we have this mess going on. Black and brown racism. I mentioned in my video, and I hope people took heed to this, that the Black Seminoles crossed the Rio Grande too. Black Seminoles were people with African descent and American Seminole descent from Florida. There was some Trail of Tears when Andrew Jackson bought Florida from the Spaniards. Okay, I'm glad he's out the $10 bill. Thank God. Anyway, I don't care if it's Harriet Tubman or women man killer or whoever. Women man killer was a Cherokee woman. Okay, so let me mix with both the African name. I don't care who's on that bill. As long as Andrew Jackson is off that dog on bill, and I know the Trump's against that. I don't care, but I'm not for that reason. Going back to the situation, because they don't know, these folks don't know the history. They don't want, when I bring this up, it's new news to them. It's like, I didn't know that, because I think outside the box. I don't go with what's expected out of people. I go with what's unexpected. Learn it from me, okay? As an individual, not collective. The black Seminoles crossed the Rio Grande to get away from slavery here in Texas. But it was, no sense they could be free. And you had white slave masters from Texas who trying to get the Mexican army defended the black Seminoles. A lot of slaves crossed the Rio Grande. Mexican people helped slaves cross the Rio Grande too to get away from it. It was another underground river besides Harriet Tubman going to Canada. Okay, because I'm sorry, if I was a slave having one drop of black blood and I'm mixed up myself, I wouldn't waste my time to go up north when I had to go south. And if I had to learn another language, hey, that's survival. It's like it's going to be sacrifice for your freedom, okay? Folks understand you sacrifice for your freedom, okay? But these people don't want to do it. People today don't want to believe in sacrifice. That's why I do the things I want to do, because sacrifice for anything, whether it be against my family, whatever, all they have freedom. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I'm looking at the future. I'm not looking at the past, okay? I don't want to live where I went through the past. I want the future and get out of it, okay? So, you have black Seminole people, marrying Mexicans in Coahuila. And also there's stories of, and I'm glad, is it Mixie Living, on Facebook, they shared the story, which I saw on another website, of Latino women, Mexican women, and marrying African American men in the valley. Okay, watch out DNA down there in the valley. Okay, so that happened in the late 1800s. So, and I'm glad that, and I have met people who are African American who in Texas who do have Mexican. Their family were Blackskins way before they had the situation in California. Okay, and I'm glad that they had a news article about Blackskins in Southern California. But I would love them to do a story here in Texas where their families who refuse to talk, and many of those people who are mixed with African American and Mexican descent, who have families from the 1800s or to the 1900s who did intermarry, do not have their story told. That's sad. You heard here about Lucy Gonzalez. They call her Lucy Gonzalez was Mexican, named American, African American. She married a white man. Went to Cal. But her anxiety, she passes white in some way, and she fought for civil rights. They don't teach that in school. I'm glad the Black Indian book that revised this book from William Katz mentioned her. Okay, they don't teach that. Dr. Danridge, that's my brother. Besides Josephine Baker, who's part Black and part Native American, Dr. Danridge was part Mexican. Her mother, Ruby Danridge, the one that what's her name from Houston? She played Way Takes Hell. God damn, y'all know I'm talking about, the big woman, the big dark skinned woman. She played her mother in with Halle Berry portrayed. Red Divine. Ruby Danridge, who played the mammies on in the segregation movies and stuff. Her mother, I think, was Mexican, or if I read, her background was Mexican, African, Black, Jamaican, Native American. So that was Dr. Danridge's mother's ancestry. Her father, Dr. Danridge's father, was part white and part African, not Negro American here. American Negro here. I'm talking about, I think one of his parents was from Africa, one was from was white. So there's Dr. Danridge was like the Cocoa Black melon, because the one drop rule was a lot of like the blonde was the what do you call it, the black Memorial. Okay, even though she was mixed. That's my role model. I was very because Halle Berry, who's mixed herself, loved the one drop rule. Very upset that she's not mixing. That's why Dr. Danridge was able to play Mexican role. Excuse me. She was black skin and white and American. She was able to play, Italian women. During her Zyla, she played Mexican women and American, besides playing black women in roles in Hollywood. She was actually, I was reading her book during '98 when I was graduating. I was so happy. I wish my school, who belonged to Hispanic school with some African descendant students besides myself there, will talk about this woman. We don't they don't teach this stuff. I told you I go outside the box because the school districts in Texas are stupid when it comes to history. You know, and you have, you know, for example, you know, everybody's talking about Prince. Besides both Prince and Emilio and also Felix Shakur, God rest his souls, you have people like Sheila E., who was Prince protege, who was also dating Prince. She's part Mexican on her dad's side and part Black French Creole on her mother's side. Very beautiful. Ooh, I used to love Sheila E. back in the day. Hold on. Did I tell you I love? Ooh. Let me say, hold on. I'm sorry. You know, she in her 50s, she still look good. Anyway, I told you, okay? So, anyway, and she right. I think that the Billboard Awards, and I didn't watch it, I told you these bad children cut my cable. Cause I was fixing a dinner for Cinco de Mayo that I saw on Instagram, and I was sick and asthma, and then with this mildew coming back in my ceiling because I don't have central air. They throw stuff at my window and they cut my cable cord on the satellite dish. Anyway, so hopefully Comcast, not Comcast, I wish I had Comcast. That's my grandma's stuff. DirecTV come and fix this thing, okay? Point is, because I had to pay them, I owe them when it happened. But point is, they, you know, we don't know about these people being mixed with black and Mexican descent, and that, you know, black Mexican people has been in this country, but when they had the one drop rule, they put that, and you had some people who looked more Mexican, you know, stereotypically Mexican, you know, Mexicans, I'm sorry to say that, are Afro-mestizos. Hate me for saying that, but it's true. I didn't say they was pure black. I said it was Afro-mestizos. That's why I'm against that. No, I'm for it. I'm glad they have Afro-Mexican on it, but I think they should be politically correct. Afro-Mestizo, which will cover everything in the people's background, because I'm not for one drop rule in Mexico, okay? I don't want that to happen either. It happened to our people here, and I hate the one drop rule. I don't press, but I claim my multiracial roots. I'm very happy that I found out the truth, that people in Texas do not practice, which is that's illegal. The Supreme Court was to found out that you're not allowing people to check more than one boxes due to the decision back in 2000, since the minority groups went into multiracial category, you actually can be sued. Texas, I'm talking about, yes, please, y'all, understand your rights. You can contact the Supreme Court and let them know that they're not allowing us to check more than one boxes on driver license, criminal records. No, I don't have a criminal thing, but anything that's legal document, you have a right to identify yourself as multiracial by checking one run box. The one drop rule is not supposed to be practiced here in Texas, and they practice it to this day. They're not supposed to do that, okay? That's actually unconstitutional. I can sue a lot of people, which I'm thinking about doing this so I can get out the privacy, okay? But anyway, going back to what I'm saying, you know, that's why we don't know about the story and doing. And I mean, I'm meeting people, like I've met people before who had grandparents who are Mexican, who have, you know, they don't talk about these situations. And I think that if we see you actually bring the two groups together, because I'm sorry, we live by each other. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I have to worry about a brother Latino harming me more than a white person. Okay, except a white racist cop. That's, you know what I'm saying. I have to worry about a brother Latino, a person African descent or a Latino person who's a cop who will try to act like a white racist cop. Okay, you know what I'm saying. That's, you know what I'm saying. It's sad. Now I also said the minority cops are sometimes the worst ones because they have their protected class in affirmative action. I'm for affirmative action, but like I mentioned, here we go, protected class. Because people in protected class feel, since they've been oppressed, they have a right to act their racism towards each other. And I'm not for that. That's why I'm not for when people say, well, white people can only be racist because they have political power in this country, but minorities can't. That's not true. We're just as guilty. And I'm not saying because I'm not racist. We're just as guilty practicing that mess as a white person. Because at the end of the day, we're still human beings. We shouldn't even try to practice that if we're trying to fight against something that's hurting us. And long as we have this cancer in our community, and try to act like it doesn't exist, and still act upon the cancer, add more tumor effect to it, should I say, we're going to continue, because let me let you know, the white population is going down, okay? There's going to be more people of color, you know, like it is all over the world, in the United States, than white people. If we don't stop this problem to this day, we might as well have someone like Trump cause more problem. If you're mad at me for trying to vote for a man who's going to hurt you, you're doing it your own self. You know, we have a mulatto president, Obama, because he is part white. He's not a pure black person. And you know, he says he's pure black. Okay, I go by what's in your DNA. I don't go by what you consider yourself. If you have mixed heritage, okay, what's the reason why your parents and your grandparents are here, okay, and you deny it, it's being a liar. I can understand you being pure and have no mixed evidence of mixed heritage in your background. That's a different scenario. But when you do have mixed heritage in your background and you deny it, you're being a liar. Okay? And if it wasn't for the mixing, I wouldn't be here and y'all wouldn't be here. I'm talking about both ethnic groups. I mean, you can't get mad about race mixing. The reason why Latinos exist is because of the Spaniard and the American and African coming together. Regardless who raped who, it happened. I always say, okay, so if a white woman was raped by an American or a black person, are you going to sit there and tell that person to hate their non-white side? It's not the race. It's not the race of the person. It's the person's actions that cause that problem. Can y'all please get there? And also, I have a fourth grandma who did not rape anybody. She had a mixed child after slavery. Okay, so you know what I'm saying, on my mom's side. So who was a white woman. Okay, so point is, that was able to trace her roots all the way down to England, okay? She has Irish in her DNA. I trace the Irish part, trace the English part of her roots, especially the male ancestors of her roots. Anyway, but the point is, we're not, you know, pure anything, and I think it was stupid for the civil rights groups, LULAC, NAACP, Urban League, and National Council of La Raza, and the others who defend the American and Asian community came together instead of trying to fix a problem within our communities. We're about a category that's going to unite us, causing damage, which never. I mean, I don't think a multiracial category, and I don't see how it would cause damage. I think it would actually unite the public, because you have folks who claim to be white who ain't 100% white. Who family who came from that type of family who want to acknowledge their roots, but they feel they can't, you know what I'm saying, the people they claimed to be white at the time because they wanted white privilege. But anyway, they looked white and they wanted white privilege, but they had mixed DNA. I'm glad that we're acknowledging that we're mixed, and I think that it was a mistake on Clinton's part for allowing the minority groups to have a protest against a multiracial category. We reap what we sow. Now we're dealing with racism within our own community, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's way worse than a white person doing it, because you have people of color doing it amongst each other. If we continue to do this problem, we might as well have someone like Trump to whoop our asses, to remind us that we're no better than nobody, and we cannot be bitching and moaning about racism when we practice amongst each other. Because I'm not for either side being racist. Okay? You know, and the one thing about the criminal system, one thing I want to say this too, that why is a thug culture on both levels, I'm talking about both in the African American community and the Hispanic community, is vivid. No, I'm not saying that we're animals, or both communities are animals, and white folks are the intelligent elite, you know, people. No, I'm not saying that. But these folks are buying into the stereotype. Everywhere you go, you see brothers and Latino men, not all, I said you see this, okay? A portion acting like thugs, pants sagging, drug dealing, being locked up by the police rampantly. Yes, that is true that the police target, but why give them something to be targeted about? I don't understand that. Instead of trying to prep yourself to become a professor or something higher, or go into something, you know, you want to get street cred, to be the cholo in the street. I don't understand that number, and that's why I'm looking at them laughing. And not only getting mad at the racial comments that's on these Facebook news articles here in Houston and also on YouTube, but I'm laughing. I'm like, well, both communities have this problem. You know, both, like I said earlier, you can go to I was in El Paso, Texas. They had gang problems, and Latinos was killing. Mostly Latinos, they was killing each other. You go to Chicago, people, Latinos kill each other, black folks kill each other. You know what I'm saying? Black identified people kill each other, I say. Same thing in New York. Same thing in New Orleans. You have African American people kill each other. You have Mexico people, like I said earlier in this beginning of the video. You have folks afraid to go to Mexico because a person look, not all look alike, but someone who 9 10 have a similarity, look similar to some 9 10, gonna kill them. Bringing someone like Che Calhoun, which you do have people who do look like similar to him, especially in Guerrero, Oaxaca, known as Costa Chica. In Veracruz, that's why they called me when I was in El Paso, Texas, Jarocho, because there are people, and it's not those only areas. Remember, the African slave population spread out through Mexico, and many will continue to mix. And as they continue to mix, they become looking more or less African. And then you have people who do look African, who are or look more African, who are mixed too. But like they always mentioned earlier, we have our DNAs are similar or the same, but we have degrees of mixture that cause us to look the way we look. And you can see, like I said, parts of the similarities. You have African American, you have Latinos who have big lips like I do, wide nose, different the curves and everything. You have the curly in the hair. You know what I'm saying? It's not only from the people in the Caribbean who are Latino. I see this a lot in from Mexican people. So, and that's why George Lopez was not shocked when he had the African DNA with Mariah Carey, who's also, African American, Hispanic, Venezuelan, and Irish American. When she read his DNA test, I wasn't shocked. You think I was reading about the African DNA in Mexico? I'm glad they had black in Latin America. Mexico grew the black grandma in the closet. I'm glad that, but I read way in the library, Houston Library, way in the 90s, way before they came in. And people look at me stupid when I mentioned that there was African DNA in Mexico. And I never forget, I was in the library on West Terminal, and I never forget. Now remember, no one tell me I want to use a computer. You know what I'm saying? And there was a website called Costa Chica, which is Little Coast in Spanish, and it was talking about Afro-Mexicans, people African, people who look more African in Mexico who are mixed, with, who are in Mexico, Afro-Mestizos, and they call them Afro-Mexicans because of the way they look. And so I never forget why I'm looking at this. There were Mexican people just looking, staring at me, and I'm like, okay, well, I found their dark secret. I knew about the dark secret. And if the dark secrets are found about my white DNA, I had no problem with that. I just mentioned earlier, I'm mixed with white. I have no problem being mixed with anything. That's what God put in my roots to order me to get here. So that's the reason why. I knew all about Costa Chica, Oaxaca, and Guerrero and Chiapas having that, population of people who look more like me. And also in Veracruz. I had a friend in high school who was a camera like myself with naturally straight hair, then lives, and they used to call him Mayate all the time. He's from Veracruz. He was Jarocho, and he was sing choir a while. I was learning Spanish when he was learning English in the ESL class together. Okay, he told me he was missing African, Spanish, American, and Chinese, which is not a shock because not every Mexican person was Chinese, but you had the Chinese railroad people coming to Mexico like they did in California. And you also had someone like Ellen Gabriel, who's part Mexican and part Chinese, which that's the reason why she has that look. Okay, so there's nothing, and that's probably why George Lopez, besides African, Spaniard, which is European, and the American has Asian DNA. And usually sometimes it's kind of hard to determine that in DNA tests because the American ancestors came from Asia. Okay, so but they can sometimes do it now because DNA. One thing. DNA companies sometimes don't have accurate results. I'm glad that when they did it about Ancestry.com, they exposed them that you go to other DNA companies, you find more detailed information compared to one particular company. Because I knew that not all two tribes ain't gonna be African tribes gonna be in my DNA. They mingle in Africa, okay? And the same goes in the rest of anyone that has African DNA with no matter what they look like, because no one's pure African in America unless you come from Africa. And we have mixing in Africa too. But most people who have African DNA are racially mixed, regardless they want to admit it or not. Okay, you're not gonna find, because of slave trade, mixing happened. Okay, that's why. So. And white man, was a rolling stone. Okay, so you know what I'm saying. They did the thing with the Native Americans as well. So, and many Africans went to Native American communities to escape. And one thing that's why people say, well, the Native Americans, so they got big lives in Mexico too, because if you read the what's that, Encyclopedia of Mexico, I read this back in 99. A lot of African slaves, which is in African male slaves, which is they don't consider Afro-Mexican slaves, in the colonial period of time, Mexico married Native American women. Okay, a lot of like Vicente Guerrero, who was second president of Mexico, who was Afro-Mestizo. His mother, according to Wikipedia, was Afro-Mexican, and his father was Mestizo. That's my role model, by the way. I wish they could do a movie about him. If I ever become famous in Hollywood, I would definitely pick somebody and make this movie very accurate. I would not put Hollywood stupid heads try to make it commercialized. I hate when they like to straight on come in any other movie. Can we have accurate movies? Okay, I don't want to hear no commercialization of a movie. It's supposed to be a biopic. But I would definitely like to get somebody to play Vicente Guerrero and make the movie and actually promote the movie all over the world so people can know about this man. He's the reason why that Mexico got rid of slavery. He's the reason why that Texas became part of his own country. Let me see the reason why. You know, he calls that his rule against slavery in Mexico is the reason why the Alamo happened. That's why in Texas, when white slave masters from the South came from England, slave masters from the South brought their black slaves. That's the reason why the Alamo happened, because the government got very upset. They said, excuse me, let these people be free. You're not supposed to have slaves here. They rebelled. The white Anglo-Saxon American people rebelled against the Mexican government. And that's why you have Texas part of the United States. That's why I got very upset with Cat Williams for making that statement. Of course, I was upset with the racist heckler being Pocho-minded, and I'm not making fun of people who are born here in Mexico, born in the United States who are Mexican descent. Though when they say Pocho, they're talking about white supremacy mindset. Okay, like, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, as I was calling Stacey Dash, the Sakata Aunt Mama, and the Willie Lynch, Negro slave / Pocha, exactly. Okay, so because she mixed with black and Mexican. Point is, but that's why. But you have this person being coonish, making fun, and you're in Arizona. Why the reason why they were trying to get rid of those states and be part of the United States was trying to make them slave states too. They didn't make, but even though California was a free state, the idea was trying to steal that part of Mexico to make them slave states. A lot of people don't understand that a lot of African Americans went to California and became business owners and stuff. They don't teach that. You had communities mixing. The governor, Mexican governor of California, what's his name? Bio something. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He was not Afro-American, Afro-Mexican, Spanish name American. And he was, y'all know what I'm talking about, P.O. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't think of his name right now. His birthday is actually 6th of Mayo. And that's my grandma's birthday on my dad's side. Anyway, she just turned 82. Anyway, but yeah, that was his birthday. He was, and they was upset, the government, that because he had this African DNA in him. He didn't look African, but it was in his DNA. They don't teach that in history. And that's why both African American descendant people and Latino, especially those who are Mexican, don't know their history. They know that we have unity together. They know that, so if y'all want to continue to separate, fight amongst each other, let Trump do it to you. You know what I'm saying? Don't put pictures of American X in the white man doing it to the black dude, what it can happen to you. Because you have what happened in Boston, where a Mexican immigrant got peed on, beat up by white people. It happens on both levels. You want people, if you want racism to go away, then stop practicing amongst each other. I can't sit here and take sides, because you're just being racist, just like the white people. So if you want America, if you want to be like Trump, then let Trump become president, and let's see how we get treated. And I bet you we'll be picking strawberries and cotton together, like migrant workers who didn't get paid or not get little pay in plantation slaves. And maybe when we go back to that situation, we'll realize that we're stupid when we act this way, because it's pathetic and evil on our parts to participate in this type of behavior. That's all I have to say. So all y'all Trump supporters, whole white, you got my vote, because minorities have not learned yet. Minorities are pathetic and crabs in a barrel amongst each other, and they whine about racism. As a minority, I'm saying this, and yes, I have white and they don't look like a white person, but I'm a person minority group, and I'm sick of it when I'm hearing racism from them, and they come and bitch and moan about it, but they get mad at white men doing it to them. My white people, okay, you want to make America great again? Here it is. And hopefully minorities will learn their lessons and get the ass whooping that we all deserve. Because we should not be acting this way when we want someone to do it to us. You treat those who you want to be treated. That's exactly the golden rule. Okay? Regardless of what you've been through. I'm not going to sit here and treat someone because of, like, you know, robbed me yesterday. I'm not going to go to another Latino who had nothing to do, because at the end of the day, they're two individuals. Can we please start practicing individuality and start practicing collectivism? See people as judge a person by their content, their character, not by the color of skin. That's what Martin King preached, right? We still have not learned that as minorities. We see it in the behavior of the situation happening with Jesus Flores, and I just don't care for minority rights anymore, because there are no minority rights when they do it when they try to violate each other's rights. That's all I have to say.